there, and welcome to this installment of Parenting+. I'm your host, Isabel Garcia. In this series, we do deep dives into all things impacting moms, dads, kids, families of all shapes and sizes. And I am very honored to be joined by several guests with me today. I have a team from Healthy Baby Network located here in Rochester and Monroe County, New York. So I'm going to go through all of our guests. We have a little guest with us as well that you might be hearing in the background. So first, I'm going to bring up our two guests. We have Jacqueline Lindsay and Jasmine Brewer. We have the Chief Program Officer with Jacqueline and the Doula Program Manager with Jasmine. Thank you both so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. And then we're also joined with Onijah Lovejoy. She's a client in the community-based doula program within Healthy Baby Network. Thank you so much for taking your time as well.
Thank you.
Of course. And so just starting off, we'll go right to Jacqueline. Can you just give an overview of Healthy Baby Network just does incredible programming and services for the community here in Monroe County and Rochester. But can you just talk about what exactly the mission is with this organization?
Yeah, so Healthy Baby Network has been in our community for 29 years. We will be celebrating 30 years in 2026, so we're really excited about that. And our mission is that we want to ensure that every parent has the resources and information and support needed to bring a healthy baby into a nurturing home. And we do that by all of our programs. So all of our programs are designed with parents in mind. We design them by listening to what our parents tell us they need, not by prescribing the programs based off of what we think parents need.
Absolutely. That's fantastic. And Jasmine, you are the doula program manager there. Can you just talk about specifically what that program entails and what you do within Healthy Baby Network?
Yeah, so our community-based doula program is very unique to the community. We are a group of moms, rural moms, coming from the communities that we are serving. Not just providing doula services, which is a non-medical support person, but also providing resources in the community. So we meet with our moms very early in pregnancy, maybe 2 or 3 months, and we work with them till the baby is 12 weeks of age. So we get that prenatal and that postpartum just wraparound care and support for our moms.
That's beautiful. And I know that New York State has also, taken massive strides to help achieve people being able to be connected to doulas. And in terms of just kind of starting from square one for maybe people who aren't, as familiar what a doula does, you mentioned it's a non-medical support personnel, but how helpful can it be to have a doula, as part of your team, when you're an expecting family?
It's life-changing, actually. We, like Jackie said, we really center all of our programs around parents and what they need, and making sure that babies have everything they need and parents to just be born into safe and happy environments and to really thrive from there. With the community-based doula program, we have the physical, emotional, physical support. Not limited to none of them, So what it looks like is with our community-based doula program is meeting moms really where they are and inviting dads in that space as well, creating birth plans to really imagine how they would like their birth to go. We do know that every birth is different and it may not go exactly how it is planned, but we do that just like with goal planning. We plan for birth too. We go over, medical interventions if that comes up. Someone may be planning to have a all-natural birth, but we put things in place to really think about it well enough before labor is here to really educate moms and support their decision making, and to actually give them the tools they need to thrive if they have a doula next time or not. So one of the goals of the program is to really just unpack all of that, right? And to arm all of our clients, our doula clients that we serve and their families with information that can self-advocacy that they can carry on to their next birth, or to really do that community work and spread it to a family member or a community member. That's really what all of our programs about. And with the community-based doula program, we really focus on just really decreasing C-section rates and educating moms about breastfeeding or having a VBAC, so it's a lot of education involved as well.
Absolutely. And we have a community-based doula program client here as well. So thank you so much for taking the time, Anaija. And I know that you're a new mom as well. We have our little guest here off to the side. Can you just talk to me about your experience working with Healthy Baby Network in this capacity? And then, just any info about what you're experiencing as a new mom?
Okay. I absolutely loved going through the program. My doula was awesome. Whitney Breed, love her. She listened a lot. My pregnancy was a little complicated. I was high risk the entire time, and she constantly checked on me. She made sure I was okay. I ended up having a C-section, and having a doula, it helped me because then she was able to come into the delivery room. She was able to hold my hand while they did the spinal and everything, and it made me feel like as if I had a family member right there with me. She held my hand through everything. She even cut the cord. Dad was a little squeamish, so she actually stepped up. She cut the cord for me, and I loved that the care did not stop in labor and delivery. Wow. She was able to come to my house, check on me postpartum. She sat and talked with me. And when I told her I was going through a little postpartum depression and trying to pull myself out, she gave me personal assignments to do. And she made sure to stay on top of me. Like, did you do your affirmations today? Did you get out of the house? She had me get dressed up and go out to eat by myself if I needed to, just to pull myself out of that kind of funk after, becoming a new mom again. And even prior to that, going over my birth plan, and they were very thorough. I went over whether you're having a natural birth, went through every little tiny detail, me wanting to keep the cord attached afterwards, if I wanted to get into the tub and soaking and just everything. And then we made a plan for if I had a C-section, when I wanted certain things to happen. And she really, really advocated for me through every step of the way. I appreciated them so much.
That's wonderful. And, I feel like there could just be a whole series on just everyone's birth stories, right? Yeah. Everyone has such, as you mentioned, different birth stories and experiences. And when it comes to some of the other programs, circling back to Jacqueline here, I wanted to also dive into the newest program that was just launched. I know our Teresa Marsenberg had touched on it as well, which is where, I got the connection from. And in terms of the NEST program, so what this is and what the goal is with this.
Yeah, so I'm really excited to talk about the NEST program. It is our newest program at Healthy Baby Network, and it is a case management program that is a partnership between Healthy Baby Network and the Bridge Project. It is funded by Monroe County DSS, the City of Rochester, and the New York State Office of Temporary and Disability Assistance. And this program pairs case management with a cash incentive of $1,000 a month for up to 24 months. And so it is just such an amazing program for our community. It's really a game changer. We're so excited to have launched it and to be working with moms in the community already and being out there.
That's fantastic. And so you've already had some feedback from it and interest that you're seeing?
Yeah, we are enrolling moms every single day, but we still have a lot of availability. We still want people to continue to submit their application, to apply for the program. There's still time to apply. This program is for 200 women who meet the eligibility requirements.
Excellent. And I know that there's the specific zip codes as well. And so talking specifically about, the mission of being able to uplift and essentially break, cycles to uplift out of poverty and to have just that best shot of, as you mentioned, kind of healthy families and community and future. What's the goal in terms of targeting those zip codes and how do you envision that this is going to help?
So, I think there's a lot to that. We know when we look at maternal mortality, that Black women are 5 times more likely to die. We have a lot of work to do in Monroe County. This is what we dedicate our work to every day. So we're determined to be a big part of the solution. But we know that there's a lot of barriers to moms being able to work on these goals that they have for themselves. You may have a goal of going back to school or maybe looking for a new job, but you may not be able to go back to school if you have children that you have to take care of. Maybe you need some support around transportation, childcare. And so just some extra money every month could really work in the way that you could work on accomplishing those goals without some of those barriers being as challenging as they were.
Absolutely. And, of course, as we all know, as moms, it's just such a radical transformation, and you just never know exactly all of the moving parts and changes and worldview shifts and everything that happens in that initial, journey of becoming a parent. And, mentioning just kind of coming back to a holistic approach that it really seems that you all take here, and just being able to circle back to the moms themselves and, as an individual, how crucial is it to be able to continue that care and that focus on not just baby when baby's here, but, just really the whole family, for whoever wants to take it.
I guess I'll start
Sure.
with saying, just going back to our mission. Before babies get here, it's so important to listen to service moms and fathers so they have everything they need and some things that they may not know they need, right? And we do that by listening to the parents. So it's not just like sending out a survey, how was this service, but what else do we need? What are we missing? Let's continue to go back to the drawing board to really look in our community and be impactful in the ways that we need to, because we can have a ton of resources, but they need to be tailor fit to the community when we're serving. Things trend, things change, so it's just really important to, I would say, really listening to parents when they talk. Just how we say, listen to moms when they speak. In the medical field, listening to parents as well. Because then we drop the ball with our babies that's coming, and then it creates another cycle. So to interrupt the cycles that have been happening, we're listening, right? And just arming and providing and educating, and so we can be impactful. And I think that will, you have to go back and reinvent it, right?
Sure.
Things change in our economy,
Absolutely.
in our communities.
Yes. And jumping off of that as well, I know that before we all met here that we were talking about just, even food security, that with the NEST program, being able to kind of have that bridge or that safety net to be able to say, that's something that I don't have to worry about, just the day-to-day kind of tasks that end up sometimes becoming monumental, right? when you're a new parent and in that recovery stage. In terms of, I know you mentioned some of the stats and just the extremely concerning maternal mortality rate, specifically here in Monroe County, obviously as it's higher than the state and the country, but are we seeing any trends that there's improvement, or is this going in the wrong direction and that's why these resources are just going directly into this community?
So I'd say as of lately, the last couple years, we have seen a small increase. Before then, between 2017 and 2021, there was a decrease, right? So talk about reinventing the wheel and really listening and seeing where are we dropping the ball, where do we need to make more connections, that bridge, right, between healthcare and our services, right, and the client being us being the middle person. So I'd say as far as Healthy Baby Network, we have really seen an impact and a decrease with C-section rates because of the interventions and support that we're providing in education. So decrease in cesarean rates, we have seen a decrease in NICU admissions, a dramatic decrease, and we've seen a increase in breastfeeding initiation rates, 98%. So that speaks to not only the mission, but the impact. That's the product that we're getting, is that, you know, the work is necessary. We listen to the community. We needed the work. We're doing the work, and we just continue to go back and listen to parents and see, are we missing the mark? And numbers really, they truly show that. Over the last almost 4 years, we've serviced over 400 moms. So just looking at that huge number and seeing the decrease in negative impacts and the increase of something that's, you know, great, offering, you know, breastfeeding initiation.
Absolutely.
So, you know, very important.
Yeah, definitely more work to do, as you mentioned. But you know, in also, you know, your work, and this can be for each of you, you know, and then especially for, you know, new moms out there, just what are some of the needs maybe that are, you know, there's still so much stigma, you know, surrounding just kind of parenthood and new motherhood. But in terms of what the needs are for our community, what are you hearing, and what are you experiencing?
So I'll say that I think a big one in moms that we work with, I'll say personally as well, in my own experience as a mom, is really listening. And I know you've heard Jasmine mention that a lot. It comes up a lot for us with our clients, as well as in our own birth stories, is if somebody tells you that something is wrong, to listen. Not to be dismissive as it being, oh, maybe you're a first-time mom, maybe you don't know, or maybe dismissing it off as something else. Really listening to your client or patient's concerns, taking it seriously, and, you know, respecting them the same way you would respect anybody else who has a concern. So I think number one, for my response, is listening, and then responding in the same way that you would respond no matter who asked you that question.
Absolutely.
And all of that. And I just like to add, to really meet everyone where they are. You know, you can't imagine someone else's life. You can try to put your foot in their shoe, but you know, when Jackie said listening to what they're saying, but also sometimes listening to what they're not saying, and being patient, and just, you know, everything is not for everyone. You know, one method for one mom or one family may be different for the next. So yes, I agree with Jackie when she says listening, but also having a more space to really think and try to understand. And I think we miss the mark sometimes, because we say, you know what, there's one way to parenting, there's one way to give birth, but there's many, and we have to tailor each situation for that person and really try to understand and have communication. I think that's a big part that's missing, communication.
I love, you know, you mentioned that it's not just a blanketed solution for every single person or community or anything like that. There's so many nuances to parenthood in general. And so going back to you, Onijah, you know, what was your experience like, and what do you think that, you know, you're seeing and experiencing for needs?
I would say in the hospital setting, definitely doctors are still kind of generalizing people. And that's something that I experienced quite a bit whenever I had, you know, any small complaints. Even after I had given birth, I ended up having a complication where my liver had swollen and my gallbladder stopped functioning after my cesarean. And the doctors were kind of trying to push me out the door. And when I stated my concerns, like, hey, I can barely walk to the bathroom, I'm in a lot of pain. Oh, that's normal. You know, you just had a C-section, you had major surgery. I'm like, this is not normal. I cannot walk. I can barely breathe. I have to bend over to breathe. There's something, you know, it's not right. And I actually texted my doula about it, and I was telling her, like, I'm not feeling normal. I don't feel right. And she told me to advocate for myself, to stand on, what was going on, and I did. And eventually they sent in a physician who just felt my stomach and said, oh, I can feel your liver protruding through your ribs.
Oh
we
my
need to get you a
gosh.
C-section, and not C-section, sorry,
Sure.
ultrasound. And I needed an MRI after that. And I'm so glad that I went ahead and I said something. I'm an individual. This is not the same thing as everybody else's situation. And I ended up staying in the hospital for 5 days. I still wasn't 100% when I went home, but at least we had done something. We figured out what was happening, even if there wasn't a solution right then and there. And I appreciated feeling like an individual going through this. I know that my doula had multiple other clients other than myself, but she made me feel like I was a priority and that I was different.
Wow, that's beautiful and really incredible. And I know that there's just so many other programs as well that we could dive into. But in terms of accessing the information, and I wanted to touch on as well asking for help, because a lot of times and seeking these resources, right? And everyone's so busy and all the moving parts. But what is your message, I guess, to new parents or moms, dads out there, just in terms of taking that step to not only ask for help but then receive it? Sometimes people are just a little reluctant to do that. I have noticed. So yeah, Jacqueline, if you wanted to just touch on maybe any message to expecting parents out there, just to look into the services that you provide, or what can really come of it. If maybe there's some apprehension, oh, I should know all of this or something, or I read the baby books.
Yeah, so Rochester, luckily, we are really rich in resources for pregnant people, for moms, for dads, for families. Healthy Baby Network, we do have programs for pregnant women. We do have programs for fathers. We have programs for now the NEST program, which offers the cash incentive. So I would say if you think you may be eligible for one of our programs specifically, going onto our website and in our program section, you can learn a little bit more about each. For our NEST program, I just want to go back to that a little bit. For that program,
Yes.
Eligibility, you need to be 18 or over, live in one of the zip codes 14605, 14608, 14611 and 14621, be receiving cash assistance through DHS or be under a certain income guideline. If you're not sure if you meet that, just please apply and somebody will let you know. And be 13 weeks pregnant to any gestational age pregnant. So you can be about to deliver, but you do need to be pregnant. So if you go to our website and click apply, you will just be able to apply to that. But we have other programs as well if you are not eligible for that. So we have our community health worker program, which has the same services where you can be paired with somebody who will come and do home visits, who will work with you while you're pregnant until your baby turns 2 years old, work with you on your goals. All of our programs have self-directed goals. So we always want to know, what do you want to work on for yourself? So that could look like, I really want new housing. I really want a new job. I really want to work on healthy relationships. So goals can really be anything. And I would say if you're not sure what programs exist, you could also, ask friends, ask family. Maybe the social worker at your OB office can have additional resources. But as far as Healthy Baby Network, going to our website, healthy-baby.net, looking at programs and clicking apply for the NEST program as well.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for all of that insight. And, I just really admire all of the work that you all are doing. And it's so crucial and so impactful that we're really seeing. And then as far as just kind of wrapping around with the NEST program too, it just started. You said you have moms enrolled. There's still slots available. Is there going to be, a follow-up, or I'd love to have you guys come back, see how it's going. But for the moms, I guess, that are already getting started, in any initial interactions, how is it being received so far in the community in terms of just what you're hearing now that it's out there?
So I think when we make the first call, moms are really excited just to be receiving that first call and to have their case manager come out because it is just such a great opportunity to be able to receive the support plus receive that cash incentive. And so we've only received really great feedback, a lot of excitement, not just for the cash incentive, but to like really just be able to accomplish goals for themselves in a different way with that reduction of barriers because of the cash incentive as well. So the follow-up is going to be that this program is going to do amazing things. It is going to continue on far past this initial grant. I'm speaking it, and we'll definitely be happy to come back and share updates as well.
That's wonderful. And then Jasmine, just, in terms, we have a couple minutes here just to wrap up, a little bit under 5, but, just any other message, to the community that you wanted to get out there that you think people need to know?
You know what? That, have patience with yourself in whatever situation you are in, because I like to tell all new moms, I was a younger mom, and I say, you know what, life may look like this right now, but always imagine it however you dream of it to be. So never stop. Every parenting moment, it helps grow your parenthood toolbook, your skills. But, I think my overall message would be patience with yourself, because parenting does not come with a book. Motherhood, fatherhood, all children can be different. You can birth all of those children, but they can be different. So just patience. Parents, we need to have patience with ourselves and give ourselves more room and space to grow and to learn. And don't be afraid to reach out to those resources and really visit websites like Healthy Baby Network, because we are really here to support parents in so many different ways and layers to help them thrive and to just really enrich the parenting role and just individual role as well in the community.
That's beautiful. I appreciate that you mentioned too, not just to be patient with, others and stuff, families and stuff, but just really to be patient with yourself. I mean, I think that sometimes you lose that grace a little bit, and you're like, just get wrapped up in the day to day. And then, Onijah, just wanted to circle back to you. And I know you have your little one there too, but, any parting words, for viewers out there?
I would say for any expecting moms, no question is a stupid question. No little issue is too small. Ask, advocate for yourself. And don't be scared to speak up in those situations, even if it feels intimidating. And I like that she said, being patient with yourself. There are a lot of times you can be very, very hard and, kind of maybe cry to yourself a little bit because, things become very overwhelming, especially as a new mom, but you will make it through it. And enjoy this time, as it does go by super, super fast.
Oh, it does. I know your little one's 2 months old.
2 months old already, and I'm like, stop. Stop for a second. I waited 9 years to do this. Don't change already.
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. She's beautiful, and congratulations, of course. And circling back to you too, thank you both so very much for taking the time and to come here today and to share all this wonderful information. We really appreciate it. And we wanted to thank you for joining us for this installment of Parenting Plus. We'll be sure to get all the information and websites out to you on our website at rochesterfirst.com. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Get the Rochester First streaming app today for everything you love from News 8 On Demand, plus exclusive shows you won't see anywhere else. Search ROC and download for free on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV.